Everyone is welcome here, it's time to make new friends. Aquavide Uskaba, fill your Glencairn. Share a dram with the Spirit of Edmonton. Slancha!
Slancha, and good evening, Whiskey brothers, sisters, and friends, and welcome to episode 93 of the Canadian Whiskey Journey's Whiskey Review. My name's Dolph. I am the creator of the Canadian Whiskey Journey. I am the Spirit of Edmonton on social media, president of the Alberta Scotch Society, but more importantly, I am your host here tonight, and I'm really happy to be reviewing the first of 4 whiskeys. I won't put it up so you can just see the side of it. First of 4 whiskeys that are all part of my Alberta's Best Whiskeys series. And we started this year. And what it is we're taking 4 whiskeys to 4 different whiskey festivals this season, which goes from September 2025 all the way to spring 2026. Now, the first was just last weekend. It was these guys right here. Whisky Global. I don't know if you can see that very well, but Whisky Global Edmonton. And the next show is Whisky Global Calgary in November. And then we go on to MS Calgary, MS Edmonton, and possibly the Banff Whiskey Experience if it's a go. So 4, possibly 5. Now, if you come to my booth, inevitably, you would hear me say, and I said this a lot last weekend, good day, I'm Dolph, the Spirit of Edmonton, president of the Alberta Scotch Society, but these, and I point to them, are obviously not Scotches. They are Alberta whiskeys. Now, we don't distribute these whiskeys. These are our picks of the 4 best craft whiskeys that are available on the market right now in Alberta. And then I show them, and I go one by one, and you would see this one on the end, which is the one we're doing tonight. You would see this one next. You would see the third one. There. And the 4th one, which I did describe as the best rye in Alberta right now. The best. And that got some people riled up a little bit, which made it a little bit fun for me. So they are all 4 of these are what I love. So first of all, they're non-chill filtered, they're natural colored, they're not all cask strength, but I wanted cask strength for all of them. 2 or 48%. The other ones are close to 63 and 60 cask strength. And then finally, there would be no 1/11th rule employed in the production of that whiskey, unless, and I had this in my mind in case it came up, because I was searching for them last summer, the summer before. I've been looking for them. Unless online they describe themselves as 1/11th, or the whiskey, they're describing the whiskey as a 1/11th type of whiskey. And there's some that are proud of it, and I love that. So if you're going to use the 1/11th rule, the 9.09%, be proud of it. And say it. Say it on the label, say it online. If you did these things, I accepted it. But if you don't, I find that a bit sneaky, and I would not have had it as part of the top 4. So tonight I'm reviewing the first in the lineup of the whiskeys, and I called this the breakfast whiskey that's not a whiskey. And it's called This Is Not Whiskey from Anoka Distillery. And it's from barrel number 34. So this is a triple distilled barrel. And it's 32 months old. It was distilled on November 23rd, 2022. It is 32 months old when bottled. So it is 4 months shy of becoming a whiskey. We all know that a whiskey has to be 3 years and a day old. This is close, but not quite. Now, apart from that, I should read the back, because it kind of describes what this is. And I didn't do this there because when you're talking to a lot of people in lines and they want to try whiskey, you don't have this much time to talk. But this is what it says on the back, and I quite like it. So this is not whiskey. The spirit in this bottle is drawn from the very first barrels filled at Anoka Distillery. We wanted to capture and share a snapshot of this young, impetuous, and surprisingly complex spirit. And they did. So we might as well get on to the tasting notes, because it was very good, and it went over very well. And because Whiskey Global was in Edmonton, there was automatic brand recognition from people. It's like, oh, Anoka, I have their gin. I love their gin. Gin. But we came up to this, and this is very important to me. The first one I ever tried was heavily peated. Lovely, fantastic. And I wanted Gurpreet to give me the peated one, but he wanted to show people that they're not just about peat. So the peat heads here in Edmonton, we keep talking about it. We want it. We want the whiskey to come out. We want the peat whiskey to come out. Give me. But he did want to show that he has a almost whiskey that's complex, great flavor, and can hold its own with scotches. And being with the Alberta Scotch Society, I can say that it does. Now, it's what it looks like. I'll give it to you. You already saw it. I don't know what we call that, light straw, but it's light. Are we ready? So the notes. Fresh and effervescent right away. It fills the nostrils and it doesn't weigh you down. So it's fresh. Malty sweetness. I shouldn't talk into my... I'm going to say a hint of a wheat field. So you're in a wheat field and kind of that scent to it. Not grassy, not hay-like. It's a little bit more lively than hay, less than grass type thing. So effervescent. But it's a sweetness, so a malty sweetness that gives me that. And the other one, and Lord didn't really agree. She laughed when I said it. It was vanilla yogurt. And obviously a hint of oak. So it's in first fill bourbon casks, barrels, first fill. And it has a little bit of that influence. And as we know here in Alberta, we lose when they age in the dunnage warehouse that he has out back. We lose water. The ABV goes up. Lots of movement in that cask, and so at 3 years old, we have something that has an influence. And I tried some new make spirit and something at 1 and 2 and 3% when I was in Scotland this year, and you can barely tell the difference. Sometimes on the nose a bit, very little on the palate. This you can tell, but still, the oak is not overpowering. Okay. It's lovely, right? Lovely. Okay. Now, beyond that, let's go for the palate. Sorry for the delay. But I'm enjoying it. And people did that at the show as well. And they tasted it and they kept it in there. And they were surprised by how creamy it felt. And that's my first. So it's creamy. Beyond that, confectioner's sugar, sweetness. Now, before I said it was a malty sweetness. Now it's coming out as confectioner's sugar. And more specifically, as the rockets, because so the rockets are sweet, obviously, and these are from Halloween's past, and if you're anywhere close to my age, you know what I'm talking about. So, but there's a fruitiness to them, and there's a slight fruitiness to this now. Now, before it was more effervescent, more hay, more vegetal. Now I'm getting more fruit with my I'll say it again, with my vanilla pudding or my vanilla yogurt, even if Laura thought that was funny. And I'm probably thinking vanilla yogurt because it's creamy, just like this is. So it all kind of leads together, but there's a fruitiness there. And it's a fruit associated kind of directly with the sweet. I don't know how to pull it apart for me. Finish. Let's go to finish. All right. So it's not short. it's medium short, which is funny because you expect a young whiskey to be bang. You taste it, it's done. This has a little bit of a development to it that goes from sweet to mildly fruity, and then it ends with heat. And I don't know if it's back of the throat or chest. Here, I'm going to do that again. And it matters to some people. For me, I just like the feeling. There's the sweet. I'm going to say both. Maybe it's the throat and the chest. It feels nice and warm. Nice and warm. And although this might be available at good places here in Edmonton, such as Whiskey Drop or Keg and Cork, I'm going to say that your best bet for getting a hold of this and other whiskeys from this line, and this is not whiskey, he has several of them, right, that come out, because there's 306 of these in all, and it's 375 mils. This is 48%. You're going to find this there at the distillery or online for around $50. Perfectly worth it in my mind. And what I think this is best for is if you're ever the type of person that likes to surprise other people with whiskeys. So not just the oldest, the most sherried, the most peaty, but you want to surprise someone, or in my case, give someone something blind and ask for their opinion. Where do you think it's from? What do you think it's made of? How old is it? What type of barrel? And I ask these questions, and friends of mine, when they come over, they're kind of used to it. And I like to think that they think it's fun. This is perfect for messing with people's minds. One, they don't say it's Canadian. Two, they don't even think of Alberta. They think Canada with me because of the other things I do throughout, but they don't necessarily go to Alberta right away. With this one, they think Scotch, and then they start telling me about the certain years. So they think it's maybe an 8, maybe a 10-year-old younger Scotch. And you can tell it's younger because of the heat there. But the flavor and the finish make it feel like it's older. And it messes with people. So if you want a great bottle to mess with your friends with, this is the one. So that's it, Whiskey brothers, sisters, and friends. I'm going to see you next week, and we're going to talk about this one. And see that? The nice red. So the red label means something a little bit different. The Artisan Series from Bridgeland. I haven't come across a red bottle that I haven't liked yet. And this one's fantastic. I hope to see you soon. Thank you very much for joining me. And you know what? If you make it to one of those whiskey festivals, I'd love for you to come to the booth. Tell me you saw it online, and tell me if you think that your tasting notes are the same as mine, or if I'm full of something. That's all right. We're good. Have a fantastic day. Cheers, everybody.